for Lauren's birthday. Happy birthday, Lauren, again. Look at how picturesque and beautiful. It's a very tiny town in the south of France, to the point where it was very difficult to get a lot of information about things in this little town, but it's super cute. There's a lot of really, look at how, I mean, it's so picturesque. It's so beautiful. I hope Lauren's snapping some pictures along the way, because this is so pretty. But we are going to start. We are outside of the Musée Municipal Paul Lafranc, and this was built in the 17th century. It was once the Hotel de Ville of the town hall. And then in 1952, it was changed over to a museum. Paul Lafranc was an archaeologist, and he had done a lot of excavations here in this area. And it's mostly filled with a ton of the items that they actually found in the town and that was here. The town itself dates back to inhabitants of more than 10,000 years ago. It goes back to Paleolithic, is that the word? Look at how beautiful that is, Paleolithic times. So it's just quite a bunch of fantastic old things in that museum. We are in the south of France. Things are a little bit slower. So if you were going to visit here, it's only open like Monday through Friday. I forgot to mention to make sure that everybody pins Kate's image up there. I kept talking and realizing my image was still on. So make sure you pin Kate's image, and then that way you could see everything that she's going to show us as we walk through this cute little town. And it's warm there. Finally, they got rid of all of the rain they were having in France. Unfortunately, it's moved on to, if you've seen all that just horrible devastation in Germany and Belgium, just horrific images. Just look at how cute all the little doors and everything in this little village is just adorable. It's a small town. It actually, as I said, it dates back to people living there 10,000 years ago. And then it was more, the king Louis the 14th there was a huge powder, like ammunition powder plant that was here. And they built this church here in 1660. This church was built, the Saint Leger Church. Sadly, we can't go inside of it. It was only open until noon today, Paris time, French time. But it's really, look at the facade of it. It's really adorable. It was built from 1660 to 1668 under the orders of Louis the 14th. It was built right on top of where the powder mill once stood. Look at that. It's just so beautiful. What a beautiful day too. Wonderful door. It has the Pietà, of course, sculptured on the top of the above the door. The tower, the bell tower that we saw as we were walking down the street, was built in 1740. It was built up on stilts, and it's kind of at the rear end of the church. The church actually, it looks rather tiny because it's just kind of pushed here into this idyllic courtyard, but it does go back quite a ways, and it goes back to that tower that we saw as we walked down. Who's picturing what's his name? Russell Crowe and the Good Years. Everybody seen that movie? If you haven't seen that movie, you should definitely check it out. I wasn't a Russell Crowe fan until I saw that movie, and then I was just everything about that movie. I just love it. Marianne Cotillard in it. And they have all those beautiful, you just want to have like a table with like a lovely tablecloth sitting underneath those trees, drinking rosé on a warm day. Hopefully Kate and Lauren can find some of that today when they're there. This is also in the town. I was really hoping we could actually start the tour up. There's some really cool Roman, there was a Roman bridge just outside, just on the edge of the town. It had these two archways. There's only archways still, full archways intact that remain, that were built during the 1st century anywhere in this part of the world. And they still stand today. It's really neat. I put together a sheet with some of the information on it, and I will email that with the video to everybody afterwards. And I put a picture of what the arches look like in the sheet. We have 2 lions standing on top of it that would guard it, and it was the Pont Flavin, and it was there as a tax and a toll road, of course, and it basically was the path down through Marseille to Marseille, which is just past this town. Of course, now the newer Hotel de Ville, originally in where the museum is, where we started, and now it's over here. I love the little flag bunting. I actually have some of those, and I forgot to put them up for Bastille Day. So cute. It's a very quiet town. They used to say, and some people still say that, Sundays are very hard to find anything open. In Paris, more and more nowadays, it isn't. You could definitely find many things open on Sundays. It just also depends on which part of the city you're in. I once stayed in the second, just past the Palais Royal, and that area just completely closes up on Sundays. Restaurants, everything is closed up. But if you go over to Saint Chamas and some other parts of the city and the Marais, everything is open. A town like this, everything is closed. So we're going to head up these little steps, and I was so excited when I saw that we could go up these little steps here, big steps, I should say. We are looking at, right in front of us is the Plan de Horloge Aqueduct, and this was built in 1868. It was built, it looks like it should be much older, doesn't it? It was built after a tunnel collapse in 1863. And then they added this aqueduct here, and they put the bell tower on the top of it. Oh, just so lovely. Look at those huge stone steps there. I wonder how old these stone steps are. And all these cute little doors. I love how they put those little paths so that the water could drain underneath it and they could step over the water. Freezing up here a little bit. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. I'm very excited. 30 days from today, I will have already arrived in Paris. I can't wait. So I'm excited too. I have a long list of videos that I will make. Still on Sundays, we'll still do Sunday videos, but I'll have a few more to bring to you that I will be doing there. So if you have other things you want to see, definitely let me know. I couldn't get into any of this stuff on Google Earth. Usually I'll just make sure that things are open, and I couldn't see this. So this is all, I get to see all of this with you. I love that they have this whole little to get around aqueduct. Is that how wide the aqueduct is right there? And we hopefully get a great view. We're right on the edge of a, they call it a pond, but it's going into, oh, look at that. Can we walk across there? And it looks out from the pond out onto the Mediterranean. Oh, this is so cool. So we're just at, yeah, we are the river that goes underneath the little bridge that I was hoping we could go see is the same one. It is the Toulouse, and it actually runs alongside the Montagne Sainte-Victoire, which was made famous, of course, by Cézanne. And he painted that many times. It's also near where Picasso spent the former years of his life, and where he's actually buried. It's closed off to the public. You can't actually go in to see. But there we have the pond, as they call it, and then out further is the Mediterranean. And then we could see much of the whole town here. How cool. And some graffiti. And some chairs up there. There's the bell tower from the church straight ahead. If we go past that, basically past that is where we would find the former Roman arches further out there. But from up here, you could definitely see how it was definitely from the 1860s. It definitely, while it's still old, it definitely doesn't look like it was built in the Roman times. Much of this town, though, because it does date so far back, a lot of the town, the structures and stuff were actually built using stones from the former Roman structures and the Roman road that was here. The bridge, when you see the picture of it, the bridge actually just has the two arches and the underneath. The river itself that it goes over is pretty narrow now. It's not very wide. So pretty. And those perfect little shutters. It's like they're living in like a little French dream. Kate says there's not very many tourists here. It's very, very quiet. Oh, look at this. I think they just got down there yesterday. So cool. I have to ask Kate, why did you well, she could hear me, but Kate, why did you guys choose this little town?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just looking at, originally we were gonna do a weekend in Normandy just as a surprise for Lauren's birthday. And then I realized that it's only an hour more on the train to come right down to the Côte d'Azur from Paris. And Normandy is very, very similar to England, the south of England anyway. So I was like, let's go and this is our first time outside of Paris since February 2020.
Yeah. Which is about when you moved to Paris. You moved right before the lockdown.
Right before, yeah. So so we were like, let's go somewhere very different with no one around. And yeah, I found this very cute little place to stay, and I just wanted water and sun and somewhere really quiet and slow.
That it is. You found it. You can tell the arches on that are so tall, you kind of don't really notice that. I mean, they're definitely tall from the other side, but this vantage, you really can see how huge that is.
Yeah, it's a crazy structure because it's so obviously sort of Victorian in what is otherwise a very sort of, I don't know, like everything. It's very northern Italy, like almost Venetian style.
Yeah,
like it's amazing.
A lot of that Italian influence down in the south.
Yeah.
They might not like to realize that, but
it's very true.
But yeah, you can see everything's closed up.
We're on Rue Gambetta now. Did you want to talk about the Place Jean Jaurès?
Oh, we were just going to cut through there, but it doesn't matter. You can keep going.
Perfect.
And lots of some pink buildings down here in the south.
That's very, very cute little boulangerie.
It is very cute, and it's all closed.
Yeah, everything's
Hopefully you guys got something to eat to take back from the store.
Oh yeah, we did a big shop yesterday, and we're both vegan, so it's hard enough in Paris, but down here,
Oh yeah, got to be even harder.
no yeah.
The signal's slowing down. But yeah, so we're gonna this town itself dates back to of course Roman times, but it was of course our friend Catherine de Medicis in 1564. She and her son King Charles IX stayed in the chateau that was once here. Nothing remains of the chateau, of course, but a lot of the stones, just like the Roman roads, a lot of the stones from that former chateau were used to build much of the town, much of these buildings. And they just have all these cute little streets. The city itself then kind of fell into industrial time because it is so close to the water. They had a bunch of different industrial plants here. They do still have some, which we might be able to see when we get down to the water. But they, of course, the black powder mill that they had here, and then they had some gas refineries that they actually have built there that would actually, because it is so easy to get in and out of. Looks like we might have slowed down here. The signal is probably not so great down there. We'll just hang in with it. Is everybody going to watch the end of the Tour de France today? Even if you're not a cycling person, you should watch it, because when they ride into Paris and then they go around the Champs-Élysées 9 times, so you get to see all of Paris. I have a friend there today, and she was walking by the Louvre, and she was taking pictures, sending me pictures of the, I can see Lauren's image. So we switched over to Lauren. Sending me images of the fences up and a bunch of the gendarmes around let's see. I'm going to see if I could. We could go to, if you go to Lauren's, who's with her, Lauren, it's sideways. Can you flip it? That's better. So if everybody, if you want to go to Lauren's and then pin that one, we could see down in this car park that we passed through on the way down to the water's edge. Oh, let's see, Kate's coming back in. Hi again, Kate. We have the dual cameras going on here today. Still sideways. And Lauren, look at how cute Lauren is in her hat. And a cat. And I think we should be able to get down to the water through here. See, it's a very, as you could tell, a sleepy little town. Of course, the Cannes Film Festival ended today. So that has been, I'm sure everybody has seen lots and lots of pictures from there of all of the fancy glamorous people. But it was good to see that come back this year. A friend of mine, quite a few of my friends actually are from there, and they're back down there for the summer. And they say it's just crazy, but it's great to have it back. And then overnight, it just empties out, but it is, it is the time of the year that everybody leaves and goes traveling throughout. Everybody either has July off or August off, and then they head down south or to the coast or into the center of the city, many of them leaving Paris. The lavender fields, I believe so. I think because the lavender fields are kind of all over the South. Wouldn't that be amazing to see it? Just the smell of a whole field. I mean, you see those images of just the rows and rows of the purple lavender. So beautiful. I have one big bush of it, and I go out there in the morning to water, and I always just run my fingers over the lavender. And then I just smell my hands. It just smells so good, while the bees are all over it. It looks like Kate kind of locked up again. There's quite a few RVs down here, which is always interesting. You rarely see those in France or in Paris, of course. We could watch Lauren's feed and see as she watches Kate. Down here. It's so quiet. Has anybody been down here? Has anybody been to the south of France? This is the Étang de Berre, which is it's the mouth of the river Arc, and it's the edge of it's called the Bear Pond, which is kind of funny. But it is past that, of course, is the Mediterranean. This is the nearest larger city is Marseille from here. We have all these little lovely rocks. Everything in France, you just, if those were here, you wouldn't even look twice, and you're like, oh, I wonder if those rocks are from the Roman times. Oh, Roxanne. Yes, Roxanne, you've been down there. I have not made it. I was hoping to maybe try to go this time to visit my friends in Cannes, but I don't think I will have time. Even though I am there almost 3 months. It is getting very packed schedule with tours and everything else. I'm going to bring Kate back in here. We see the beautiful blue sky and sunshine. The gimbals be crazy. Oh, but look at the water's pretty clear. You can see the bottom. Can you see any of I think there's like a factory near there or something. Nope. Must be on the other side.
Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my signal.
Well, we're probably not in the place that has the strongest signal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a little dock down there.
Yeah, there's like there's like a proper beach.
Oh.
And then we can just stroll along the coast if you like.
Yeah, we could stroll along for a little bit.
The coast, the lakeside.
The edge of France.
Yeah.
Was that a seagull?
Yeah. That's beautiful.
What a beautiful day.
Yeah, it's meant to be like this all week. Very lucky.
Oh, good.
Haven't seen a cloud since we got the train down. So
that's good. How long are you guys going to stay?
Until Wednesday.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's very quiet village.
That's crazy. Did you see when you were doing your research, there's like this glass, it's like a building in the rock face.
Oh.
Can you see that? But I don't know what it is.
Huh. That
But
little
it looks like,
up there, I think it's up there to the right is where the, I was hoping we could walk up to because there's a church up at the very top. But
oh yeah,
it has all of these, the roads stop long before you get to the top, and then
yeah.
it actually showed that it was all closed off. So I didn't want us to try to get up there and then all of a sudden all we're looking at is somebody's messy backyard, because that's what was around it. But I really wanted to go up and see that little church, but
I'd like to go up there and see, but if it's shut,
yeah, maybe I'll try with the next few days to walk up there and see.
yeah.
It's a little fishing village.
Yeah, there's a lot of fishing going on, not a lot else. Nice.
Are you guys gonna venture out from here at all? To other
We're gonna
towns?
go down to like the actual sea tomorrow. There's it's actually a small resort called Carré de Rouet,
Ah,
and I just really wanted to go scuba, like snorkeling.
yes.
And there's a marine reserve there.
Oh,
You
fun.
can go snorkeling around that. But it's actually turns out where Nina Simone lived and died.
Oh,
Yeah, which is this tiny town, but she's like my all-time favorite. So
oh, I do love her. Just don't
yeah.
read about how she treated her children.
Well, I know. Yeah, she wasn't the best person, but
She wasn't the best mother, but yeah, I
yes.
love Nina Simone, but yeah.
But weirdly, her daughter now lives in that house.
Oh, weird. Maybe I'll go knock on the door, see if she'll
Yeah,
put
I know.
us into some tea. I do love
Yeah.
Nina Simone.
Yeah, it's funny because it's just, it's a very random choice of place to come.
Yeah.
And it turns out she had a funeral there in the tiny little church in that village. So yeah.
Go check it out.
Looking
Yeah,
forward
there
to
was
going there soon.
a few artists. There was an artist named Rene Cézot who lived here. He was born in 1867, and he ended up, he kind of was the precursor to Fauvism. He painted with very bright colors. He was moved up to Paris for a little bit, and then he ended up moving back down here, and he died. There's a street, of course, named after him, and there's some of his pieces are in that tiny museum we saw.
Oh. The museum is closed until the 8th of August, which is so sad.
Yeah, it did. And then it looked like the hours were just like a few hours each day, even when it was open.
2 till 5.
Yeah.
It's a nice sleepy museum.
Yeah. You know, you're outside of Paris when everything closes for lunchtime.
Yeah.
Weirdly so, some of the museums in Paris, some of the smaller ones, they when they've reopened in May, that's kind of how they are doing their hours too. Some of them, a lot of them are closed during the middle of the day for lunch. So definitely keep an eye on that. If you're going the next few months, I imagine that will eventually change. But some of them are actually closed, and they'll close for like 2.5 hours, which is too bad, because if you go to a museum like I do, going in the morning for 2 hours is not usually enough time. But a lot of them will let you come back with your ticket. The Malmaison is like that, the Chateau Malmaison, which is amazing to go see. Everybody should go out there. It's a very quick train ride from Paris to get there. And you have to take a bus from the train, from the metro station, the RER. You have to take a bus out to get to it, but it's definitely worth it. The gardens, especially if you're going to go in the spring or summer or early fall, the gardens are absolutely gorgeous. Maybe I'll try to get out there and do a video from there. But Josephine, of course, loved roses, and she loved flowers, and Napoleon, she would have Napoleon have his officers bring back seeds and plantings from anywhere they had been. So it was a lot of the first time a lot of different flowers and trees wherever in France were out at Malmaison. And she had some, over 100 roses, many of which came directly from Japan, that she had at her house. She absolutely loved them. You could still go through her rose garden. I think it's a lot fewer roses than when she was there, but it is, it's really stunning to see. And I just imagine Josephine strolling through the garden, looking at her roses.
The orangery on the grounds where they grew a lot of those, like the more tropical or exotic plants. At Malmaison, it was on the market as a private house.
Oh.
Yeah. Lauren and I always said that would be our absolute dream house. It's beautiful, and all the walls are hand painted.
Oh,
like it's absolutely stunning.
We'll have to look it up, see if it's still for sale, or at least be able to see the pictures.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's all on, like, there's like quite a few estate agents that still have pictures of it.
Yeah, I'll look it up and share the link with people. It's so pretty out there. They have a little stream, and it has like this little bridge, and there's the first time I've ever seen the black swans. And they were actually, I'm wondering if they were actually descendants of the ones that were given to Napoleon, and he brought them out to Malmaison. But it's pretty cool. There was like a 2 or 3 black swans swimming in this little tiny pond. And I wonder if they're related to the original ones. But it's really pretty out there. There's a huge tree that was a gift from Napoleon. There's a big sign on it that said it was, and then you go inside the house. The chateau itself is small in the terms of what you think of when you think of these big chateaus in France, but it is amazing. She had it designed where a couple rooms are covered with fabric, so it looks like you're inside of a tent. And she did that when she was trying to kind of win his heart back after, of course, she couldn't have any more children. And he needed an heir to the throne. And so he divorced her, but he always loved her. In fact, Napoleon's last words were Josephine. But it's really, really neat out there. And it's really cool because it's post-revolution. So you have a lot of that stuff that, you get to see actual furniture and everything. Later on down the road, the house was sold off. But Napoleon III actually purchased it back because his mother was the daughter of Josephine. And so he ended up purchasing back the property. And his wife, Eugenie, was obsessed with Josephine and Marie Antoinette. So a lot of the stuff that's inside of it, some of this stuff had been returned. She also had this huge art collection. One of the finest art collections in all of France was what Josephine kind of amassed. A lot of that, of course, has been dispersed. There was a Russian czar that was kind of obsessed with Josephine and purchased a lot of that stuff after she died. And we get to even see some palm trees down there. Lots of palm trees.
Those are beautiful little olive trees as well in people's front gardens.
Pick some olives and make some olive oil in your Paris apartment.
Oh, that'd be so nice. There's even a pomegranate tree down here, or what we think is a pomegranate.
There's quite a few little Mini Coopers down there we've been spotting.
Yeah. The car to have, apparently, down in spots. Really, they're made very near where I grew up.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a touch of home for Kate.
Yes.
Look at those beautiful boats. We'd just jump on one.
No, we tried to hire a boat this morning, but it's all closed up for Sunday.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. No tourists.
Nope. Try again tomorrow, I think.
It looks like I might actually have the Tour de France on my iPad next to us, and it looks like they're rolling through Versailles right now.
Whoa.
We're all over the place. Malmaison, the south of
Where's
France,
where's the Tour de France finishing today?
on the Champs-Élysées.
Ah, okay.
And it rides through the courtyard of the Louvre. It did that a few years ago when it was a big
Yeah,
anniversary.
I
And
remember that. Yeah.
they're keeping it. So they ride actually by the pyramid and come down, and then they do the 9 circuits on the Champs-Élysées.
It was a great week not to be in Paris.
Yes, I know. And the
With
other
that.
day they had all of the parade, of course, on the Champs-Élysées.
And they put all the protests
Oh,
because
yes.
of Macron's vaccine.
Yeah, I think there was
Pause.
like 2 or 3 separate protests in Paris alone.
Yeah, I
before it
got
yesterday.
caught in one
Yeah.
on Friday evening. That was a huge one, just on Rue de Rivoli.
Yeah. And for those of you, if any of you happen to be going this week, I had another friend actually just arrived yesterday. So I was looking into information because starting on the 21st, you have to have proof that you have a vaccine to go into the museums and any place that has more than 50 people in it. Eventually in August, it also is for the restaurants. But if you are an American and you're going there, they created a digital system in France, but it's not equipped yet for the passes that we have because they read it with a QR code. But you are fine just bringing your paper pass in as of now. If it's good enough for border controls, it's good enough to get into your cafe. So, either you could buy plastic sleeves on Amazon. I actually found some and it was, like $5 for like 5 or 6 of them. And so you could buy those to slide it in. You shouldn't laminate it because in case you have to have a booster and they have to write on it again, it's already laminated. So, but if you are going in the near future, how beautiful. It's a nice little Sunday stroll. We need some croissants or a pain au chocolat.
And chocolate.
Yes. I always see people on Instagram, they put that poll, are you a croissant or a pain au chocolat? And there's not a choice to say both.
Yeah, so
Depends on my mood
3.
that morning. Sometimes you need the chocolate, a little extra. Are those olive trees?
Yeah, or actually this one, I'm not sure. It's either olive or I'm not sure. The leaves look a bit longer.
I never really know much about plants, but it kind of looks like olive leaves.
Yeah, there are certainly a lot of olives. It might be pistachio, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You need to find some fig trees. So beautiful.
Yeah, there's a little restaurant we just had lunch at just on this, where those windsurfers are.
Oh, nice.
Just along this coast. It's so lovely.
Found one that's open.
Yeah, yes. It's open till midnight apparently.
Oh,
Crazy. Yeah, open till midnight every day.
oh, getting
So
crazy
obviously,
down there.
yeah, the people of Saint Chamas, they're night owls apparently.
Oh,
Yeah. But I would recommend if anyone finds themselves down this way, come down here.
definitely doesn't look like the beaches where I live. The beaches that I live look more like Normandy.
Yeah.
It looks
You near
much,
the sea?
yeah, well, yeah, here in where we have just an hour and a half from the beach. And it's much more Normandy, Brittany kind of chilly, windy. It looks a lot like you would find on the Normandy and Brittany. English side.
Those D-Day beaches we have to do as kids every year on holiday.
I'm hoping I could get to Mont Saint Michel this year and go down there.
Yeah, that was another. We nearly did that for this trip.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm done. It was my grandpa's favorite place that he ever went was Mont Saint Michel.
It is absolutely stunning over there.
Yeah, I want to get out there, but I'm already trying to figure out my schedules. I want to go for at least 2 days and stay there and wake up and be able to walk around in the morning before people get there.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. Are we at the end of our little road, or you could go through?
Yeah, you just sort of wander along here.
She's gonna walk to Marseille.
Yeah.
Oh, Carol, you have a chocolate croissant, you and Dawn. Oh, delicious. I did order some on last Wednesday on the 14 juillet. Yes, Carol, I am. I'm going to do the live. I'm still going to do the Sunday ones, and I'll probably do a few other ones that I'll just pop in there and let you guys know in advance. I am going to do them all on the Sundays when I am there. So I already have a list of things to go check out to share with you. And of course, we'll do them the next few Sundays before I leave. We have a special one coming up on the 1st in 2 weeks is the one that's my friend Rocky that passed away. His favorite place was Saint-Sulpice. So we're going to go back there and then hit some of the places around there. I think last time we went into Saint-Sulpice once before, but I think we just kind of went in the beginning and got out. So we are going to go explore a little bit more. Make sure it's on a Sunday evening. So I already checked. I don't think we're going to run into mass at that point. We hope. We seem to have that luck. But yeah, but this Thursday, I'm going to do another live free video where we could talk about planning, talk about different things that are going on in Paris, things that are changing. With it's constantly, there's different rules and different things changing, and there's lots of really cool exhibitions being announced all the time and cool things to see, like the Christo. I'm super excited to see the Christo wrapping of the Arc de Triomphe. So I'll have to bring those to you. I'll have to do a live thing for you guys there. But that I'm super excited to finally see because that was put off for a couple years now. And so there's lots of really great stuff to see. So you could find that on my Facebook or on my website. You could always go to ClaudineHemingway.com and then events to find these lives and also any of the other ones that I'm doing. And there's actually a link in there too, where you could purchase the ticket, and then I will send you the direct Zoom link if you want to bypass Facebook. So, but we will let Kate and Lauren go back to their wonderful little vacation by the sea pond. And thank you so much, ladies, for bringing us with you.
Thank you. Yeah. A little history tour.
I know, a little history tour, a little, maybe you'll have to, if you get out to those arches, you'll have to post some pictures and I'll share it with everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to scout it out and see if we can get up there.
Yeah. And see if you get up to that church. Yeah. But for everybody else, if you have the Tour de France on NBCSN, it's channel 732 on Xfinity. I don't know if that's the same everywhere, but check it out so you can see Paris. And let's hope Mark Cavendish wins today and gets his 35th green jersey. Most of you are probably like, I don't know, you are crazy. What are you even talking about? Mark Cavendish is an English chap, Kate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
From the Isle of Man.
In England, everyone is obsessed with the Tour de France. So
yes, I love it.
Nothing else. My dad will be very happy.
I know. I hope I'll cry if he gets to number 35, which is the record. Eddie Merckx had 34. The Cannibal, which is one of the best cyclists of all time. He I don't know. I'm trying to see if they're in Paris yet. They will be in Paris shortly. They actually will go right by the Jardin de Luxembourg and down the Boulevard Saint-Michel, and then over Pont Neuf, and then down over to through the Louvre. So they will be there shortly. They head to Paris. And so you have lots of chances to see some really great shots. So thank you guys all so much, and happy birthday to Lauren. And thank you everybody for joining us. And Kate and Lauren, you guys have a wonderful time.
Thank you.
And we'll see everybody next week.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Claudine.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.